Crochet Knits Loved by Jo. I'm Jo and this is podcast number 20. Welcome back everyone. I've been a bit sick. I took last week off and there's Ellie on cue. You'd miss her if she wasn't on the video, wouldn't you? Yeah, I had last week off because over in the UK it was Easter and I have been sick now for nearly 2 weeks, so getting better, just feeling a bit bleh. So I'm a little bit late recording a podcast purely because I wouldn't be able to record it without coughing, so I thought I'd spare you all with that. So anyway, welcome any new subscribers, welcome those of you long suffering subscribers, and should we talk about some knitting and crochet and what I've been doing? So okay, first off, yes, there are ends. I haven't finished them. I will finish them. I have to finish them because this is actually a gift. Shh, don't tell anyone. I finished my granny square blanket. It's a bit big to appear on the screen. So I made this using Stylecraft yarn, acrylic double knit, and just random balls of yarn that I had in stash, but wanted to add pinks and yellows. And you'll see there's the odd little end poking through. You'll see there's a few here. I've basically got to get them all sewn in. But yes, this is actually a gift. So I shall take a picture of it outdoors, either just before it's been gifted or after. But anyway, so I finished my granny square blanket. I've seriously got the granny square bug again. I probably do knit more than I crochet lately. We've all got limited time that we can actually, if it's your hobby, how much time you have to actually do the work. But this has been so enjoyable and I've really, really enjoyed it. And I want to make myself one now. But yes, that is my granny square blanket, is all finished now. Yeah, so sorry if my throat's a bit croaky. It was far worse last week. Yeah, so just a simple granny square blanket and join as you go. I am going to have trouble parting with this if I'm honest, but I have to. But yes, I'll get an outdoor picture because it is really hard to try and get a picture of it. I struggled to take a picture of it indoors as well. I need a bit more space. So what am I wearing? I'm not going to take this off because I've spent 5 minutes faffing to get it to sit. So this, those of you that follow me on Instagram, I am over on Instagram. Those of you that don't know, under CrochetKnitLovebyJo. And this blanket, it's not a blanket, it's a shawl. Oh, it's going to be one of them episodes. This is the Sophie shawl by Petite Knits. I am having to look at my notes because my memory's gone to pot. I have knitted this with Malabrigo Rios, which is one of my favourite worsted yarns. This is so snuggly and it grew quite a bit. Obviously, I did the large, so that was going to come out quite big, but once you block it, it does soften up as well and stretch and just has a really nice drape. I actually blocked this on the washing line yesterday because I haven't actually got enough floor space. It's really long, this has been wrapped round twice. I had no rhyme or reason on pattern. I just used some of the leftovers that I got, which consisted of greens and greys. Green is not a colour I steer to normally, but I do have a green coat. I've got a couple of green, a jacket and a coat, and I thought this would actually sit really nice with this. I would definitely make another one. It is a paid for pattern, but I feel it was worth paying for it. I know there's a lot of free patterns out there, and I do, download a lot of free patterns, but I'm also, I don't mind supporting designers. A lot of work goes into designing a project, so credit where credit's due, and this has been a lovely make. So if anyone wants to go and try it, it's the Sophie shawl by Petite Knits. Go and try it out. What else? My brain is... I was debating whether I was going to record a podcast, if I'm honest, because heads, those of you, yeah, when you get a cough or a cold, it's just, particularly if it's all sinuses, and that's kind of what I've been suffering with. So yeah, my brain's just mush at the minute. Anyway, we'll carry on. I want to keep consistent. I've got 2 prize winners to announce. Obviously, I want to get them done as well. Local yarn shops. There's a thing going on at the moment in the UK about visiting local yarn shops, and I believe you can get a stamp when you go and visit these shops. I don't know the ins and outs, but I am big on supporting local yarn shops. We don't have hardly any near where I am down on the south coast, but we do have some further afield. And when we were off last week, we actually went across to Folkestone. Really like it over there. Just went over for the day, get some fresh air. And there is a yarn shop there, which I'm going to give them a little plug, and it's called The Wool Shop, and they're at Church Street in Folkestone. That's their card. I've got a really cute sketch on the back. They're also over on Facebook. And really nice lady in there that I was having a chat with, because someone's going to have a yarn chat. And I picked up some yarn. One thing I do tend to do now, if I do go into a local yarn shop, or yarn shop if we're visiting an area, is I get yarn that I haven't got, because obviously I've got quite a bit of yarn as it is. So I bought some cedar Hayworth tweed. Sorry, I'm rustling. It's in one of those brown bags, which is quite noisy, because I thought this would make, they had some wrist warmers on show, so I thought that would be really good to make, because I love making wrist warmers. But I also thought it would be really good in a colourwork jumper, because this is double knit, and it is 50% merino wool and 50% nylon. I can't get any without the price on, so and I got a selection of that in grey. I got a red, got a brown, and I think I got a green and a mauve. I got a little selection because I thought they would be really good for using a colourwork jumper. And I've never used this yarn. I think it's been around for a while, but never used it. So that was me supporting the local yarn shop there. And that's the, and that sort of 4mm needle or crochet hook. So I'm going to knit something with that. I'm going to do wrist warmers or colourwork jumper. Yeah, that was the local yarn shop that I came across in Folkestone. I also do a couple of yarn subscriptions. One is every 2 months and one is monthly. So I'm going to show, this has already been and gone. Cookston Crafts, I've mentioned them before. I've actually knitted some socks. There's a number of socks that I've knitted with their yarn. It's lovely. And I get the monthly, it's not monthly, it's bi-monthly like care box. I used to get it with the treats inside, but because I'm trying to be healthy and lose weight, I'm just getting the yarn, because yarn doesn't make you put on weight. Well, I suppose it does if you're sitting there knitting all the time and crocheting. I've got to work out how to exercise and knit. I have started exercising, which is really boring. But if I could knit or crochet while exercising, that would be a win-win. Anyway, I digress. The yarn that came in the last quarterly, my goodness, I'm not making sense, am I? Bi-monthly, third time lucky. I bet you're all turning off the podcast now going, what is she going on about? This is what happens when you're ill. It completely turns you into a numpty. Well, that's what I am today. Never mind. So this was the yarn that was in the last box, and it's called Magic Lavender Tulip. That is so cute. I'm going to make socks. It's surprise, surprise, because it's double knit and it's 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, which is perfect for socks. Obviously, you can make other things, hats, wrist warmers. You can make a sweater if you had a sweater quantities. I'm thinking how funky the socks would be in them. So that was the yarn that I got in that one. I also, my monthly subscription that I get, I mentioned them before, Worx. They actually donated a prize several podcasts ago. But there's a yarn dyer, they're over in Florida, called Emma's Yarn. I've got a number of their skeins of yarn. It knits up really nice, and this is 75% merino, 25% nylon. Now this was April's. Those of you who get Worx subscription and you're waiting on April, look away, because I don't want to spoil it, because I've got this it was last week or at the weekend. So if you haven't had your Worx subscription, look away or forward it or go and get a cup of tea. This is the one. This is April's, which is very spring-like and has some speckles. And surprise, surprise, these will also become double knit socks. Both my husband and son were actually wearing their handmade socks that I've knitted them at the weekend, so they are definitely going to get some more because they do seem to wear them a lot. But yeah, that was the DK. I get the DK sock. They also do this in normal sock yarn, 4-ply, I think it is. But yeah, that was the colour. So I'm hoping I haven't spoiled it. I've given you a warning to look away. But this is one of theirs. And the colours vary each month. It's good because it's... I still get a skein of yarn. I have cut back on my subscriptions. This is all I get now. But yeah, I also get the little smalls to go with it. And that's Twilight, which is so that I can do heels. Or I might do cuffs. Cuffs and toes maybe with it. We'll see. Yeah, that was the colour I got with that one. And it always comes in a really cute little bag, which they clearly stamp on. And of course my favourite, butterflies. Butterflies and dragonflies all day long for me. So yeah, that was that one. What else? Oh, I wanted to show... I have a lot of patterns and have some in books. I have some on bits of paper. Now my patterns, particularly my wrist warmer pattern, I took it out the other day and it's just disintegrated. It's been so used that I want something portable to take with me. I've been looking for ages and I can't quite find something I want, but I think I may have come up with something. This is off Amazon. I'm sure you can get them from other places, but it's an A6 book. And randomly I got the one with the calculator in, but that might come in handy when I'm working out not how much I've spent on yarn, but how much yarn I have, or measurements. This is actually, you'll see that it's for budget. So if you were, and it comes with various stickers, that you would have these, see these plastic pockets, and you would, it's like a money organizer. You put your money in it and have, like, if you're budgeting your expenses. But I thought it would be really good to have the patterns that I use the most. So I use the Crazy Sock Lady double knit sock pattern all the time. That's like my go-to pattern. But I have it on either an A5 or an A4 and the paper gets destroyed. You know, you're stuffing it in a yarn bag. So what I've done, which I've tried, is I've got a thermal printer which I use for my postage labels mainly, and some of my for my tags for my yarn labels for Winnies yarn. So I printed pattern. Now, this is a free pattern, so I'm not showing you anything I shouldn't be. But all I did was I condensed it down so it would print onto. It is small. I am playing around with printing it on my normal printer and maybe doing a section per side just to make it easier to read. I can actually read this, but it's a breakdown of the pattern and it's just the key bits that I need because I don't need to see the pictures of it. I also Becca Norman had a Kitchener Stitch just how to do Kitchener stitch. I can never remember Kitchener stitch, so I've printed that off just to put that in there to prompt me. I've got an afterthought heel in there, and then obviously I've got others that I can put in here. So I'm going to have my most popular wrist warmer pattern that I use, hat, and then it just means that I've got it with me and it's good to go. So yeah, just a suggestion, might not be your cup of tea, but I think this is going to work for me because it's got everything. My most obviously I can't put every pattern in it, but it's got the the most the common patterns that I would use are in here, which is perfect for me. Just as a portable thing. I don't mean necessarily I'm going to use it day in, day out when I'm at home, but if I'm travelling, it's perfect. And obviously, if you spill anything, it's not going to damage the sheets. I've also, talking of my thermal printer, my Winnies yarn logos, I've actually printed them off on there for the yarn bands as well. I've been playing around with that. Yeah, a bit random. But yeah, that's something you might, it's a soft folder, so it'll fit nicely in my yarn bag. That's something just randomly I decided to do last week. I wanted to show a book. I have a lot of pattern books, and I thought it might be good to show you the odd book on here if you're interested. This is a knitting one that has recently come out called Only Yoking, and it's got some really nice yokes in it. So it gives you the different yokes. I'm just going to make sure I don't show anything. Look at those. So it's different yokes and different thickness yarns, and the knitting designer is Olga Patano, and she's created 3 basic sweater patterns and 4 yoke designs for different yarn weights, which is brilliant, and I already want to make more. But this is a book that's come out which I thought I would share. It's top down knitting patterns. I mean, look at that. And they're in DK yarn, they're in sock yarn. That is lovely. How nice is that? So yeah, if anyone wanted to have a look, it's a new bit that's come out which I've got because I want to do more colour work, and as of yet I haven't done a colour work jumper, and I really want to. So yeah, maybe go and check this out as an option. But yeah, if anyone's interested, I'll share a book on the podcast. What else? Prize winners. Should we do this? So last podcast I did a prize winner, or said there would be a prize for 6 balls of DK yarn and a copy of the crochet pattern for this beautiful heart blanket. Get it the right way, which I've shown several times. Baby blanket, but I think this is going to turn into a big blanket. I have decided on that. So it was to win, you would either win a copy of the pattern for this from the designer's names below, or 6 balls of yarn, and Jake has picked a couple of winners. So the winner for the crochet heart pattern, to win not the blanket but the actual heart pattern, is Sharon Wiggle from Yarns the Word. So congratulations. If you would like to send me either a message on Instagram or email me on CrochetKnitLovebyJo@outlook.com, I will get your address off you and email address, and then I will get that pattern emailed across to you from the designer. The other prize winner for the 6 balls of DK yarn, which I said would be a surprise, it could be Starcraft, or it may actually be the paint box yarn, or even Deramores. It'll be a surprise anyway. But if you would email me CrochetKnitLovebyJo@outlook.com, The winner for that yarn is Sweet Gifts Crochet. I've had loads of lovely comments again. Thank you so much. The feedback has been amazing, and I really, really appreciate every single one of you who take the time to watch, comment and subscribe. But yeah, Sweet Gifts Crochet. I've put both the winners' names underneath. Drop me an email or message me on Instagram so I can get your address, and also if there's like a colour theme that you would want, and I'll get them out to you. The winners from the last podcast, I've only had 1 out of 2 contact me, so if you are the winner from the podcast who hasn't got in touch, get in touch, because I can't send your prize out to you without your address. I'm a little late sending the prize out for the last podcast, but that's only because I've been ill and I didn't want to obviously send my germs in the post either. So congratulations, both winners. The prize for this podcast is going to be a skein of Winnies yarn, which I will surprise you with the colour for on the next podcast. I'm going to give a skein of that away again, and if you could just put what you would make with a 1 skein yarn skein. Gosh. I think I need to lie down, don't I? Excuse me. What I did show, I still have several skeins left of Winnies daffodil yarn. Let me show you. This was the sock, which isn't on a sock blocker, but this was Winnies daffodil. The colourway I've done. I am going to do a colourway for each month. So on the next podcast, there will be the colourway for that month, which I'll be showing. So it'll be every other podcast I will be showing a new colourway for Winnies yarn. And as you can see, beavering away on the second sock. So this is DK, and the socks that I'm going to do, because I think DK socks are amazing to knit. They're easier to knit than the normal 4-ply. They're super warm. You can wear them with your boots and shoes. I mean, these are I make DK for my husband and son, and they actually wear them with their trainers with no issues. So the Winnies colourway will be in DK yarn, and it will be a DK sock yarn. So you can knit whatever you want with it, but you will have the option you can knit socks. So this is the other sock that I'm finishing off. So I have done all the decreasing, and I'm just working my way across doing the toe part, not the toe part, the foot part, and then I'll be decreasing for the toe. But yeah, that's just straight in the round knitting now, which I love. Yeah, I'm really pleased with that colourway. It's been really well received. So, but yeah, I do still have several skeins available. The glitter, and then obviously the plain, but both DK. So yeah, that's that one. And that's been housed. These socks are in my, which I love this little bag, the Little Grey Girl, which I think I've shown before. Little drawstring string bag, which is perfect for sock knitting. So there's that. Anything else? I think that's everything. It's slightly shorter podcast. It's purely because I'm still not feeling great. But I didn't want people to miss out on prizes. I want to keep consistent with it. So I hope you still enjoy this podcast. I hope it hasn't been all bad for you. Just going to check I haven't missed anything. No, look at that. So thank you so much for watching this podcast. I appreciate it. If you would like to give me a thumbs up, that would be great. If you would follow, even better. Spurs me on even more, because I've had a lot of new subscribers lately, which has really been wonderful. As I mentioned on the last podcast, you've made my week or my year even. But yeah, and any comments below about anything you'd like to see in future podcasts, please do so. And if you're a prize winner, please get in touch with me so I can get your address and get your prize out to you. And don't forget to win a skein of Winnies yarn for the next podcast. Just comment below what you would make as a 1 skein project, which is perfect. So I've currently been looking them up, because this yarn is not just for socks. So yeah, comment below. Take care everyone. I'll be back in a couple of weeks, hopefully feeling and looking a lot more healthier. But in the meantime, take care. I hope you get lots of time to do your crafting and relaxing and spend time with family or friends, whatever makes you happy. And I'll see you soon. You take care. Bye.